All right, welcome back. Supergirl issue number 5. That's where we're at today. Let's freaking go. I've been loving this series. I love this entire series actually. So, let's recap what happened last issue. Basically, we saw the brigands raid of genocide throughout the cosmos as we followed them to find Krem. And eventually we did find Krem. We know where he's going to next. So that's where Ruthie and Supergirl are going to go. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's hop in. I had not seen the criminal Krem of the Yellow Hills since he cracked me with his heel as he cowered his way onto Supergirl's rocket. And now, after many months of waiting and many galaxies traveled, here he was again, ringed by the desecrated bodies of the blameless and the innocent. And as he drew near that day, a bile rose in my throat that I had never experienced before. It was a bitter burn that has haunted me from that time to this. It was a taste of the void, of going through each day knowing in all the depths of your heart and soul that this day, this moment, requires the company of your Father, and knowing in your depths of your heart and soul that you will go through this day, this moment, as you now always will, and you shall be alone. Krem starts pulling out a little orb. And what is this orb doing? However, my time in Krem's presence was brief, for just as he was in reach, he threw a Mordru globe. So what is this little thing, you might ask? It is a magic thing that you can craft that will basically teleport you. Not many people have had the privilege of encountering a genuine Mordru globe. They are an odd and rare vintage. Since my own brush with the Phoenix thing, I have done quite a heap of research into their origin and general use. Supergirl, trying to escape this globe, is sucked in. Broadly speaking, for all the practice of magic rules slip through your fingers as often as the devil slips over your tongue. They can only be acquired through a prodigious amount of death. The only way to make this is you gotta kill a bunch of people. The actual mystical ceremony used to call this to our plane is not particularly complicated or even interesting. Many amateurs could shuffle their way through those steps, but most amateurs lack the critical ingredient needed for the completion of this ritual. For the globe to manifest at the climax of said dance, one needs the dedication and desecration of thousands of bodies slain with no other purpose in mind. That's nuts, bro. Not easy to snag at your local apothecary. Unlike most, though, Krem had that particular prerequisite at the ready. Krem's a smart man. The reason a high bar is required for obtaining such a globe is indeed obvious. The ability to transplant the most powerful beings in the universe billions of miles from their intended destination can transform sure defeat to lauded victory. They are now teleported somewhere else, where this method available to any and all the proper relationship of strength to weakness in the ongoing conflict we call living would be overturned. Something that would be frowned upon by the originators of magic if you believe in such folks, as I surely do. For it would end the need for their unique services in upsetting, but not negating, the order of things. Supergirl looks up and says, "Shit," as something steps down on them. Thus is the rare and cursed few who have traveled inside a Mordru globe and found themselves suddenly at the other side of existence. So they found Krem, and Krem decided to spitball him out somewhere else. Where is this place, you might ask? Well, we'll see, as Supergirl is struggling to lift this foot and says, I don't understand. I'm going to go quickly. I'll grab you, but I'm losing my strength because of the sun. It's green. After we got a few yards between us and the beast, Supergirl clutched on me, and we ran. We ran for some time, and Supergirl tells us, I know of this place. Krem used the magic to teleport us here. It's called Barrington. They built it for Kal-El, my cousin, to trap him on a green sun made of kryptonite in a world full of monsters. So this planet was literally designed to just destroy them. We ran, her feet seemed to grow heavy until she could not lift one after the other, and our progress slowed to a babe's crawl. Supergirl says that once the sun sets and the green stops shining on her, they're good. They can just fly out and make it. And I was forced to take her weight on my shoulder. And Ruthie asked a very important question. How did Superman get out? So he waited like you suggested just now? which seems like a terrible idea. Just wait for the sun to set and just hope you survive. Yeah, right, buddy. No, he was not able to wait it out. The League came and saved him. It was the most painful experience that he'd ever felt. The closest to death that he ever got. And he fought Doomsday. Yeah, his plan is messed up if it's literally designed to kill them. This is only in here. I don't know who created Barrington. As far as I know, this is only a Supergirl exclusive. I've never seen this before. I've seen them use the green sun on Superman like long time ago, like before I was even born and all that jazz. But this planet does not exist. As far as I know, it could, and I just don't know about it, but I've never seen anything about it. And Supergirl tells Ruthie, yeah, Superman lasted 45 minutes here before they rescued him. So your plan is to survive until the sun goes down? 45 minutes? We have 10 hours. Yeah, 45 minutes, 10 hours? It's just a little bit more. We see like a dinosaur. What are the monsters behind them walk through? You get used to it. Don't tell Cal I taught you that. As Ruthie goes, fuck. Sometimes I see why people hate him. That's pretty good. Just going over their differences of how they think and how they operate. She's not that goody two-shoes compared to Clark, who everybody seems to adore, and also other people seem to hate because he is way too goody two-shoes. It's just how the nature of things goes. Eventually, Ruthie takes Supergirl to a resting spot because Supergirl cannot go anymore. The design of this world was simple as it was devious. The circle of barren hills surrounding a valley with a freshwater lake at its center. My genuine instinct was to go to the lake in hopes that the water and the greens there could aid in the restoration of Supergirl's quickly fading health. But I was quickly corrected. Supergirl smartly noted that the same flora that helped lure the monsters to its midst. The relief was simply a trap. She could survive longer without water at the edge, dealing with a few strays, than she could with the mist of the herd. It'd be difficult, but better to endure than to die. Consequently, we walked away from the danger and we climbed into the hills until she could go no further. Basically saying, we're going to survive out in the edge because why would we go into the middle where all of the animal life will be? All the animal life will kill us and we're weak. Very smart, Supergirl. I do enjoy that she's actually intelligent. And so we found our sanctuary, a small rock cluster where we'd take our stand until sunset and escape. The green rays of the sun hitting her like 1,000 poison needles. Supergirl laid herself down to rest, and I drew my sword. And we waited for the monsters to come. So Ruthie is going to protect Supergirl. Little girl with a sword is going to stop all these monsters that come walking astray. The monsters aren't going to target Supergirl. They just exist, and the ones that wander by will show up. And Ruthie somehow will protect her. We'll see how that goes. Because hours pass. At times, she convulsed and shouted in misery, and then apologize over and over again. At times, she keeps still and whimper. Then at times, the best times, she retreat to the calm of the unconscious and lie silent on the rocks. It is during one of these moments of amity that the ground let out a soft tremble, and our waiting came to an end as one of the dinosaur monsters walks up, and Ruthie goes, you stay over there. This ain't no place for you, big dog. Get away from me. And so it screams at her, and Ruthie, just giving like a battle little speech to her, is like, I warn you, you better not come over here. I'm gonna kill you, man. And then, of course, the monster does not understand what Ruthie's saying because they don't speak the same language. And then Ruthie starts hyping herself up pretty much. I'm a little girl. You may need a retreat, man. Like, I am not one who lets her fear hinder her actions. Indeed, if anything, my resolve is doubled in knowing that I have brooked your attempt to petrify me. Yeah, right, Ruthie. And I will take some pride in that, as the beast bites down right underneath her. And I cannot rightly claim that the beast had any speed or intelligence. No, it was large and lumbering, and when it stuck out at me, it did so in a rather clumsy fashion. Which is to say, I'm not writing in order to arrogantly portray myself as a conquering hero, worthy of triumph through the town center, as if I were the reincarnation of poor Bess of the Aberdeens, returning from the War of the Walls. Still, I do say I was no seasoned warrior. On the rock farm, I slaughtered my share of ordinary pigs. But as it is often said, one cannot learn so much from the slaughtering of ordinary pigs. And the monster despite its obvious weakness, was ferocious and determined. Had I not gathered my senses and found within me the instinct for survival, it would have killed me, then killed Supergirl, the savior of many worlds. So Ruthie does conquer this beast because she was a little bit quicker, a little bit nimble, and her instincts caved in as the beast just clumsily and ferociously started attacking like a wild animal. Brains do, in fact, beat bronze. All the while in her book, she's saying, listen, like, this feat is really cool because I am a bum. Like, I'm not an experienced fighter. So me killing a giant dinosaur, that's awesome. As she goes back to Supergirl's like, I did it. Don't you worry. We don't have that much longer to go. That whole time, I was fortunate in finding myself in an allurement, not designed for my people, and so I had many more pep in me than the suffering Supergirl. Still, my first fight and kill on alien land mightily strained even my natural resources, and I too fell victim to the hard push of my eyelids, and I rested. Just for a little bit, as some other pterodactyls come and get a dead body. They see the dead body of the dinosaur. That's free food to them. So, of course, they go and feed. But they leave Supergirl and Ruthie alone for now because they don't notice them. And they're not free food. They're still alive. Until they see Ruthie get up and stare at them, where they scream. So Ruthie grabs her sword. I lunged for my sword as the colossal brutes swooped down upon us, their unholy beaks clapping up and down as they threatened to consume us where we laid. And to my horror, I could not get a good hold on my weapon, for its grip had become greased with gore from my previous battle, and my fingers slipped along the new silky goat skin covering. And so as the monster charges, Supergirl blasts it with her heat rays. She still got some of her powers left. I was a touch ignorant then. My experience with blood and blades had yet to blossom. And Supergirl, clearly like deranged, this is me after like 14 hours of working, looking like, is a bird, is a plane, is Supergirl. And then she collapses back down. Is thankfully quiet for a while after that, at least in terms of beasts trying to rip their teeth through our flesh. I passed the time nursing Supergirl, who slept unsoundly, agony racking her body, shaking her dreams. And we see the sun is starting to set a little bit further. I wonder how much time they have left. I learned my lesson and maintained my watch, now with my weapon dry at hand. I saved my own dreams for other days. And so now we come into the predicament of Supergirl's like, oh, I need water. Oh, yeah, no, that's a bad idea. Because she's like, we go to the lake. No, please, lie back down. If we go to the lake, there's monsters there, and it's getting darker, so like, there might be even scarier monsters. It's just a trap. You're better off staying off here. Those are your own words, and we have to live by them. And Supergirl says, little girl, get the fuck out of my way. And Ruthie stands her ground because she's like, you're clearly not thinking straight. I do not believe I will. And she picks up her sword and points it at Supergirl. And Supergirl's like, I don't think you know who I am, big dog. I move mountains. I'll move you. I know. But as moving me and hiking onto that dangerous water will cost you your life. And I see no reason why it should not also cost me mine. Basically saying, I will give up my life to make sure that you do not give up yours. Because Supergirl's life is probably more valuable to another person than Ruthie, who does not have all the powers. And that's just the way of things. Supergirl can do monstrous things compared to just an ordinary girl, so people would value her more. I understand if my words in this passage have provoked confusion or even indignation. All who are reading this by now understand my utter dedication to the drawn-out death of Krem of the Yellow Hills, the man who showed me no mercy or kindness to my beloved father and deserved no less than what he himself had offered. And yet there I was, foolishly risking my soul with his murder to keep this young woman alive. In truth, I have no good explanation. Your confusion and indignation are just as justified as any other fine emotion that will grab you. I was young and hard-brained, and so I did what I did, and so you might rightly rage. And it was successful and no excuse at all. And Supergirl bows back down and goes back to sleep, basically. Time passed. My dear companion grew weaker and more pained, as the sun is starting to get more and more green as it goes down. I do not wish to write any more about that, for it fills me with grief to relive the hours of anguish Supergirl then suffered. And Ruthie telling Supergirl, "Hey, we're gonna get ready to go, man. The sun's gonna be gone. That way, the green sun is gone. You should have your powers back, and we can dip. We can fly off, go back to what we were doing, and you won't be in any more pain. Just know that she was in desperate need, and I could do nothing. And let us proceed to the end of it." As something shows up and starts screeching at the very last moment, at the buzzer, as the Leviathan came suddenly upon us, and the end of everything seemed as clear as the sky after a hard rain down, one thought repeated through me, a mantra, as it beat on and on, became a prayer connecting me to all the gods of all the planets. All those tragic spirits whose only purpose in existing is to provide hope when there is none to be had. Let the sun set, I said. Let the sun set, I pleaded. Let the sun set. Let the sun set. And so the dino starts screeching and then charging at them. And so Ruthie jumps off to get the dinosaur's attention before it even attacks Supergirl, because that way Supergirl has a chance to survive. It's got more than just a few hairs of Gravemeal's back. After the sun sets, after it falls, Supergirl will have her powers, at least some of them, and she'll be able to battle back with ferocity unmatched by even the weighted warriors of the Light Caves. And Ruthie falls back down. A few slips in the sky more. That's all we need. That's all I ask for. Let the sun set. But though surely I went to my words to the ends of the cosmos, where the stars fade into the poems, and those of the great beyond stare at our comings and goings, they fell on deaf ears, as the sun did not set in time, or they were heard, and they were laughed at and dismissed without consideration. For the sun remained stubbornly above the hills, and death was assured, as the monster goes straight for Supergirl instead of Ruthie. And before it's able to bite her, Supergirl kind of like pushes her body out of the way. And that's when I learned that far-off gods are fine for prayer, and I judge no person who seeks comfort in the infinity of the heavens. And that's when Supergirl says, 45 minutes. But here below, when the demons come in close, you're better off just relying on the staunch of a good woman. And she calls Clark a little bitch for surviving only 45 minutes to her 10 hours as she punches the Leviathan, and then they're off. They stand there with the sun set. The bull-headed green star finally conceded to the horizon, and Supergirl's strength returned. And we have made it through the day and into the night, which I suppose is all one ever does. Nevertheless, I was, and I remain, grateful to have once again completed that barbarous journey. So thank you for listening, watching, enjoying. Yeah, that's Supergirl. Supergirl, I'm loving this series. I love this series a lot. I've said that a lot. Yeah, make sure to continue on. We only got like 3 more issues after this, so peace out.